Oh, that's a good one. Oh, I didn't see you there. It's that time of year again. The time where families come together and celebrate this special time of year. I think it's clear what I'm talking about. It's Star Wars time.
For the first time ever, a Star Wars movie is being released during the Life Day season, so it only seems right to review the Star Wars Holiday Special. Growing up in the 80s, the Star Wars Holiday Special was more a myth than an actual thing. I heard of it, but had never actually seen it, and the concept of a holiday special for Star Wars seemed too bizarre to be truly believed.
It's true. All of it.
Airing only once on November 17, 1978 on CBS, preempting Wonder Woman and The Incredible Hulk, the Star Wars Holiday Special would live on in a terrible VHS format, never to be remastered in any form. It exists only because some fans had the foresight to record this travesty that would never be officially released or air again on any television station. George Lucas had made a deal with Fox to help him produce Star Wars. Rather than accept the one-time payment of $500,000 to direct the movie, he made a counter-offer. He would direct the movie for only $150,000, and in turn, he would get the rights to all the sequels and merchandising. At the time, merchandising and sequels weren't big moneymakers, so Fox agreed to this deal very quickly. Then production of The Empire Strikes Back took longer than anticipated. It was projected that it would take 3 years to complete. Without home video, it was a concern that people would forget about Star Wars given that amount of time. So, when the offer to produce a holiday special appeared, Lucas jumped at the chance to have someone else produce Star Wars content to help keep the property alive. This allowed him the chance to focus more on the movies, a decision he would later regret. George Lucas has said, "If I had time and a sledgehammer, I would track down every copy of that show and smash it." He once attempted to buy all the master copies of the holiday special in an attempt to wipe it from existence. The special is notoriously bad. The actors involved dismiss it very quickly.
I have the script at home. It's about that thick and a black and silver thing. And I opened it the other day and I closed it because it was so unbearable. It was pretty bad, actually. It's in the kind of black museum of crap.
It was in my contract. There was no way, no known way to get out of it.
Have you seen it? Like, have you, like, lately?
No, I was there, man.
And even the lead character appears to contemplate suicide early in this special, rather than go on with it. So, what were the problems with this holiday special? Disney didn't include this in the new canon, but a bit of it did ooze into canon. Compare the Wookiee houses here to those seen in Episode 3. Boba Fett is canon, and he got his start in this shit.
Boba Fett is Darth Vader's right-hand man. I'm afraid this whole adventure has been an Imperial plot.
We'll meet again, friend.
And while Life Day isn't in any of the canon I'm aware of, it pops up disturbingly often in other Star Wars-themed products. The English dialogue in this is just terrible.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Sondan, a local trader, a friend of the rebellion, and a member of the Alliance.
Good. Look, I know I can count on you to take care of my friends.
But the dialogue that kills this special is the Wookiee dialogue. Let me play a segment to give you a clear idea. And a lot of the English dialogue is spent translating or finding a translator for the Wookiee dialogue.
Whoa, wait a minute, one at a time.
She says that she would like to grant your request, but is quite unable to do so.
Mala, are you alone?
If you would permit me. No, she says she is not alone. She's with a friend.
Could he come to the screen, please?
The whole special isn't like this, but way too much of it is. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is terrible in this special. It doesn't matter how talented the actor is, they're just dreadful here. To give you an idea, the best performance in this piece has to go to Harrison Ford, who clearly could care less about being here.
All right, that's okay. All right, no. Everything's okay now. Here's your daddy. Boy, is he grown.
You also can't forget about Luke Skywalker's cameo, where he apparently is trying on all the makeup from that new Star Wars makeup line.
Come on, Mala, let's see a little smile.
Carrie Fisher is apparently drugged. Harvey Korman, one of the funniest comedic actors out there, is given tons of characters and not one of them is funny. How can you take this?
Worth millions, and I want it. I want that land so badly. I can taste it. There must be a way.
And turn it into this.
Beat, stir, whip, beat, stir. That's not right.
Or this.
It will provide many years of fun and valuable service for you.
Or even this.
It's not working, dude. No, it's working all right. I have to pee.
He's not even accidentally funny. It's atrocious. But I genuinely cannot blame any actor for giving a less than perfect performance during this special. Every line is utter garbage. But I would have given anything to have one actor go completely over the top and ham the shit out of this. It's like this whole special was a black hole of talent. Any talent attempts to rear its ugly head, and this special just sucks it away before the camera can catch any of it.
Fighting the Frizzies at 11.
The story is about Han and Chewbacca getting Chewie home for the Wookiee holiday of Life Day. Problem is, instead of following these two who apparently have Imperial battles and fights in their effort to get Chewie home, we follow Chewie's son, wife, and father as they run around and ask people where Chewie is.
Well, if he's not there now, they're way overdue. There must have been trouble.
It's reminiscent of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode The Zeppo, where Xander is asked to sit out an adventure because it's deemed too dangerous for him. While the rest of the group seems to literally save the world, Xander gets entangled with zombies. Difference is, that episode was fully aware of what it was doing.
No one will ever know how close it came to stopping. Never know what we did.
The whole idea behind it was how even though Xander doesn't have any special abilities like the rest of the group, he can still contribute and do good. But Chewbacca's family does literally nothing to help the story along. They just spend the whole time asking where Chewie is. It would be like if the original Star Wars followed Yoda on Dagobah as he had premonitions of events happening, and he relayed those bits to the audience. He would talk about Luke getting a lightsaber and destroying the Death Star, but we would never actually see it. To make it firmly like the holiday special, Yoda would also not speak English, and there would be no subtitles. And Harvey Korman would pop up every 10 minutes to prove to the world that he's capable of being completely unfunny. And actually, you know what? It wouldn't even be Yoda. It would be one of Yoda's pets. Seriously, what's up with these credits? They lie about who the stars in this mess are. They're trying to sell this as though Luke, Han, and Leia are the main characters.
Starring Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker. Harrison Ford as Han Solo. Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia.
But the main characters are really Lumpy, Mala, and Itchy.
Introducing Chewbacca's family. His wife, Mala. His father, Itchy. His son, Lumpy.
And what's up with R2's credit?
R2-D2 as R2-D2.
Do the guys behind this hate Kenny Baker for some reason? The boring story that strings together this variety show is only number 2 because this is a variety show. The idea is just to provide random bits of entertainment while we get story updates as segments connecting the songs and comedy. And I use the term comedy very loosely. To give you an idea of how bad the variety segments are, let me tell you the 2 best segments in the whole piece. First, we have the Jefferson Starship song, which is very bland and nowhere. Of all the songs in their discography, I think they saved the most average song for this special. The other passable segment is the Boba Fett cartoon, which lots of people praise pretty much just because it's the first appearance of Boba Fett.
I am Boba Fett.
But the story is so lame. The animation is utterly bizarre. I mean, look at Han's face. It looks like he was just run over by a truck. Only thing this cartoon has going for it is the introduction of Boba Fett. And that's not enough for me to give a shit. But don't take my word alone on these segments. Let me talk to another YouTuber called Morton Joe and see what his thoughts are on these segments. Jeez, another YouTuber talking from his car. Anyways, other noteworthy segments include B. Arthur and her fantastic song.
Just one more round, friend, then homeward bound, friend. Don't forget me in your dreams.
Yeah, just what everyone was always wanting to see. A golden girl singing on Tatooine. Another classic segment is easily the Diahann Carroll song that Grandpa Itchy masturbates to. I'm completely serious. Watch this shit.
Oh, yes. I can feel my creation. I'm getting your message. Are you getting mine?
This is a goddamn masturbation machine if I've ever seen one. But there is one that I would actually recommend checking out on YouTube for its raw insanity. It's the Final Life Day segment. It starts with Chewbacca's family holding up some lights, then suddenly being transported into space, where they walk into what is most likely a tear in time and space. This is not the weirdest part. Within the rip, we see lots of Wookiees, all wearing red robes. And for some reason, Han, Luke, C-3PO, R2-D2, and Leia are all there without any explanation on how they made it through this bizarre time-space rift. This is not the weirdest part. Then everyone gathers together to watch the traditional Life Day entertainment.
We celebrate a day of peace, a day of harmony.
This is the weirdest part. I suspect that if you watch this while high, you would likely think you got a bad batch. It is completely surreal and unique. I don't think any scene in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas gets anywhere near as trippy as this scene. There are no words to describe it. You just have to see it.
Through the darkness, a day that leads us into light.
Sitting through this special is the roughest 2 hours of my life. I have yet to actually sit down and watch this from beginning to end in one sitting. I just can't do it. Imagine watching The Room. Now remove the comedy and humor from the terrible performances.
You are lying. I never hit you. You are tearing me apart, Lisa.
Now remove half the plot points from the story.
We're your friends. I bought some drugs off of him.
Then you have a film of about the same entertainment value of the Star Wars Holiday Special. It's complete and utter shit. I honestly cannot think of any redeeming qualities to this piece. It's a film that solely exists to profit off the name of the franchise. This is so bad that if I did the format I started this channel with, I don't think I could honestly find 5 things awesome for a separate video. Some people say this isn't as bad as the prequel trilogy. I have to ask if those people have actually watched this special. Yes, the prequels are really bad, but this is a whole nother level. The story is better in the prequels.
I sense an unusual amount of fear for something as trivial as this trade dispute.
The jokes are better in the prequels. The acting is better in the prequels.
Yippee!
The dialogue is better in the prequels.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
I cannot think of a single aspect that this special did better than the prequels. The prequels beat this on all fronts. If you are an incredibly hardcore Star Wars fan that must watch everything Star Wars, then I guess this is a must-see. Anyone else should avoid this thing like the Black Plague. There are minor diseases that may be easier to get through than this special. It's not offensive in any way, so it doesn't earn a 0 out of 10. Instead, it earns the next step up, a big fat 1 out of 10 for this pile of garbage.
Santa. Rearrange letters. Satan. Santa, Satan. Same letters.
Right.
Coincidence?